Okay, so this dream was the one that was selected was from January 30, and I saw a red cardigan of mine, not this one, another one, and it was suspended in the air, and all this red started to come out of it and just cover everything. It didn't lose any color. It just the red just spread and took over my whole field of vision so that I couldn't even make out any shapes. The only thing I could see was red.
So the red cardigan was where? It was on the wall?
No, it was kind of like suspended in air. In fact, I'm not even sure if I was fully asleep. It was one of those kind of twilight things, so it was almost like I was laying in bed and I could see it across the other side of the room in the air.
Wow. Interesting. And so it was like floating like red. Was it like red lint was floating in the air like red smoke or what
Oh,
was?
like a cardigan, like a little, like a jacket.
Yeah, but you said like red was oozing
Oh, that
out.
I saw.
What
Oh,
was
yeah, yeah. That's a good question. I think of it more as kind of like paint.
paint? Okay. So like a liquid form
Yeah,
substance that was just filling the air to the point that it filled like the whole room and the only thing you could see was red.
yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. Interesting. So a cardigan obviously is a particular kind of sweater. Sweaters obviously go on your torso. So it's
Hmm.
literally something near to your heart, right? We
Hmm.
wear cardigans, particularly when we want to keep warm, usually in the wintertime. And
Hmm.
so it's the idea figuratively of something that warms your heart. But it's different than other types of sweaters, like you think of a pullover,
Hmm.
right? Or a sweatshirt or something like this. A cardigan, correct me if I'm wrong, but a cardigan is something that can be very, very elegant. In fact, like a cashmere type of thing that a lady could wear out for an evening out to, whatever kind of elegant function that she would want to go to. It's a
Hmm.
more on a scale of sweaters, it's more on the elegant side, right?
Yeah,
That's,
could be.
I could be wrong. I'm not an expert,
No,
obviously.
no, no, no. It could be. I was thinking this particular one. It's kind of funny though because this I've got two red cardigans, and this one is probably the older of the two that maybe I should get rid of, and it's kind of faded. But I almost feel like maybe it was revivified a bit when that red was coming out of it, and was sort of the same color as all the other red, a vivid red.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what I feel like is it's the idea too of a cardigan or a coat or a jacket is like a mantle.
Hmm.
It's like if you put a mantle, you don't put a mantle on your head, you don't wrap it around your leg or your feet. It's something that you put across your shoulders,
Hmm.
right? You put on your torso. And so the idea of what I would call, and it's interesting because I call it a love anointing where you just have God just works with you in the area of love when you can be single and still have a love anointing and pray for people and they meet somebody else and they get married or pray for married couples and all of a sudden like their marriage is doing tremendously better than it was before, and you're sitting there thinking, well, what the heck, what about me, like, God, I'm waiting for, but you still have that gift whether or not it's been fully made manifest in your own life. And so the idea of a cardigan, I feel like, is a gift, particularly the older, kind of faded one. Is it something that you're looking at thinking, well, is this really something that I have a value for in my life? Or is it something that I should just put away? And I think this is one of the things that it's super interesting that I don't think I've ever heard anybody teach on a love anointing. But the idea that a single person can have a massive love anointing, we always think, at least a lot of people in the church world, they think, well, if you have a love thing, then you got to be married, and then you have to be, elder or pastor in the church, or you have to be a marriage counselor. Not true at all. There's some absolutely profound single people that I know, and even divorced people who have gone through hell in relationships to the point that they've really dove into the scriptures and said, God, I really want to understand your heart in this area. And as such, they have so much more of a mantle and an authority, even though they may not be in a relationship or they may not be married. And there's also people that are God's hidden ones, that He's literally kept them aside from the rat race of the revolving door of dating and heartbreak and relationships. And He's kind of like, you know what? I'm going to put this one aside, and they're going to wait for a time, but it's because I have something special for them. So the idea of the liquid red to me represents the idea of love and passion. Red in a lot of times can mean strong feeling. It can mean when you say I see red, it can mean anger. But obviously, I don't believe that that's what it is in this case. I believe it's also the other side, which is passionate love. It's not just like, oh, well, I love you. It's not, it's no, it's like somebody that can give their whole heart. And it's really when the red spreads, spread the red, right? When the red spread, it's the idea of, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. It's the essence of your heart filling the atmosphere around you and literally permeating the whole room. And so that's what a love anointing would be like. It would be like a presence that you would carry, that you could walk into a Bible study or a party or a place, or even be at friends' houses that again are married couples. And you go over there, and now suddenly there's an upgrade. This happens all the time in the dream world. That's why I know it's true. You have a meeting with a group of people, and you meet with them 2 weeks later, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, all of our people are dreaming now. This is incredible. So many people are this, and this, right?" And so that's the same thing. And so what I feel like God is telling you is, no matter where you're at, and no matter how long it's taken, because this is the card again that was faded and old, and you're like, should I throw it away? I feel like God is letting you know that he has a gift for you to continue to receive, and a value for you in this area, particularly the area of a love anointing, and realize that you carry it as a mantle, and it literally shifts the atmosphere as a presence when you walk into different places. And if you believe that, then you act differently. Then you pray for your friends that are going through marriage troubles, instead of, I know if you're a single person, a lot of times it's like, well, I know you're going through stuff, but I'm single, and it's almost like we feel like we don't have value to speak into the lives of our married friends or our friends that are in relationships, especially if we're not. Absolutely not true. And I wish people that were single would understand the idea of a love anointing, and that love can permeate your being so much. And as the Lord is your bridegroom, as you spend time in intimacy with him, you're actually learning love from the source of love. And it can even be stronger in your life than people that may be married and have kids and have all these distractions and all these things that are going on in their world, but they don't necessarily have the time to spend with the Lord like you do. And so what God is saying is, don't despise the season that you're in, even if you've been in it a long time, even if you're ready to upgrade and trade in for a new kind of mantle. He's saying that there's literally a presence there that you carry, that he wants you to be aware of, and he wants you to use it intentionally in the people that are in your life.
Awesome. Thank you very much, John. That resonates.
Awesome.
I mean, I'm married, so that part's okay.
Good. You're married, so.
But yeah, no, the other does. Thank you very much.
I love that. I love that idea of how just it permeates, like literally like liquid love.
Mm-hmm.
Like it permeates through them. And if you've ever been around somebody that really has a heart like that, you can feel it. You can feel like when certain people, when they walk in the room, the atmosphere shifts, and you're like, man, I don't know what they're doing, but I want to hang out with those guys.
Mm-hmm. Well, I definitely relate to that with the dream stuff.
Well, and as a married couple, invite your single friends over, because it can rub off on them, and some of that in their life, like, hey, come on over, and we just want to love you, even while you're waiting, even in the season, whatever. But yeah. So awesome. Thank you for sharing, Carrie.
Thank you, and God bless.